What's up with it? Polo Sports Talking Entertainment back again with another one. Be sure to hit that like button, sub to the channel if you're not a member, and also hit the notification so that you're able to get all of my content as well as all of my videos. Now, it's been a report that has came out and basically stated that LeBron James and Jeanie Buss are in a good place. Okay. Now, there's been a lot of conflicting reports, with the whole back and forth, whether it's Phil Jackson wanting LeBron James to be traded, or whether Jeanie Buss wants more control over the team and everything. But let's go ahead and man and let's unpack this, because I truly believe that there's a lot of truth in to their relationship, but at the same token, we really don't know. Now, we know that with any LeBron James team, it's always going to be some drama and commotion that's going to go on. Okay, that's just inevitable. Okay. Here's the thing, though. The Lakers have a lot of work to do in terms of the off season. I really think that LeBron James, him him leaving a team like the Lakers, it's not it's not going to put make the franchise any much better. Now, we know that the whole goal, what they want to do is they want to keep LeBron there so that he could go ahead, get the Kareem record, or whatnot. And that's just what Jeanie Buss's vision is to do. But at the same token, I also feel like what she wants to do is she still wants to have that control, and without with all the nonsense and everything. And I think that that's why she doesn't know where to run to, because she's not like a great basketball mind in terms of personnel, things of that nature. Okay, what we know about Jeannie is that in terms of marketing and promoting and that sort of aspect, that's where her strength is. Okay. uh they've a lot of people think that LeBron James and Jeannie Buss have always been on bad terms. Well, that's not true. Okay. But I think that once Clutch Sports has really got involved in everything, then I think that that's when everything started to escalate. But this was uh this was what Brian Windhorst had to say, and he said this on Get Up. He said pretty much, and I'll read the quote. He said, "Quote, where you're shorting a few cooks in the kitchen, because Jeannie is also leaning on her brothers Joey and Jesse Buss, who I've been told have sat in on at least some of the Zoom coaching interviews so far. But I will say that a lot of people around the league respect Joey and Jesse Buss's opinion. So I'm not necessarily saying that that's a bad thing, but that's even more folks involved. I don't have a clean answer for you on how the decision is going to be made, because I do think Phil Jackson has had input on previous coaching decisions. I don't think that this is necessarily a new thing. But from the LeBron side, as far as I understand, LeBron and Jeannie are in a good place right now. This is coming from Brian Windhorst, y'all. Despite the frustrations of the season, LeBron believes that a few tweaks and some health can actually turn this thing around, and they can be super competitive. He is invested. He wants to be there. Now, let's see where it is in August, because in August, he has a decision, and so do the Lakers, about a contract extension, but there is some time between now and then. End quote. That's coming from Brian Windhorst. Now, what I gain from that is this, okay? I think LeBron is, as long as he's there, he's gonna have to do it though. He's gonna have to do something. Look, we understand that he brought a championship there, but not many people respect that championship. Not even that. A lot of people aren't even holding that championship in high regard. Now, me myself personally, I joke around a lot. I say that the championship is the Chippendale ring and all this other stuff, but really, in actuality, they won the championship. And in all seriousness, if it had been any other franchise, if Miami, the team that they defeated in the finals, if they would have won the championship, then we would be having a different argument. Okay, I don't think that. I think the reason why people are coming down on that championship or whatever is because they feel like LeBron had forced everybody to come there and all that, which I'm not going to get into because I already know that that riles people up. But there is a lot of truth in that. However, this has been a failure in terms of LeBron being there. If we really want to look at it, and this was the worst season in Lakers history. Okay, now in terms of what they had and the personnel that they had and everything like that, and all the finger pointing and stuff like that, and drama, things of that nature, you have to look at it from that perspective. I think that LeBron James will bounce back and the Lakers will bounce back. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy because first and foremost, let's start with players being healthy and being available. That's the same situation that I was talking about with the Brooklyn Nets. Had nothing to really do so much with the talent, but it's the know-how. You have this person not there. You have this person not available. And a big portion of that was with AD, and on top of that, Kendrick Nunn. Can't exclude him because as much hell as you're giving AD and everything, and as much hell as we're giving guys like Westbrook for his play, and as much hell as we're giving LeBron James, of course, Kendrick Nunn was not there. So we have to give Kendrick Nunn the smoke too as well, even though he was injured and stuff like that. But he was a non-factor. And then on top of that, they don't have any wiggle room. They don't have any picks until 27 and 28. No first rounders or anything, and you pretty much gave away your future. So, like Magic said, you're gonna have to make this thing work. And I know a lot of people disagree with Magic and what he had to say in terms of them staying together and everything, but Russ needs to go too. Russ is clearly not happy there. He can't be the same player, um, especially playing alongside LeBron. He's not going to be able to play the game that he truly wants to play. And see, a lot of people don't understand. Russell Westbrook actually had a great second half of the season. He improved in a lot of areas, and that shout out to Turel for TV and also Casino for Life. Go check out their pages too. Salute to both of those brothers. They have mentioned that. They pointed that out. But all they do is they point out the beginning phase of everything in terms of this team. Now, this is the thing that I noticed that a lot of people will do, right? Before a player even starts playing, they talk about all the bad habits. They talk about this. They talk about that. Of course, I'm talking about Westbrook. They talk about how the man doesn't do this and the man doesn't do that and all this other stuff. That's not welcoming a player with open arms. Now with LeBron James, look, people are going to talk about that regardless. People are going to talk about how he he flips organizations and everything. That he leaves the organization in a bad place and everything and stuff. But when it's all said and done, there's a lot of people that do want LeBron there because of the the money aspect. They look at the marketing from they look at it from a marketing standpoint, and they also look at it, as a high risk, high reward type of thing, being that you could ultimately get your team to a championship, but also at the same token, it's going to leave your organization in shambles. And I'm quite sure that the Lakers didn't want that. They didn't want that. But there, to me myself personally, this thing is going to be day to day. Now, another thing that we're looking at too is that the NBA is truly looking at this. They're looking at the fact that in the first week, in the first few or a week of the playoffs or the beginning of the playoffs, the ratings were up as high as they've ever been since I think 2000 the early 2000s, right? 23%. And you know, let's just call it what it is. People want to get back to team basketball. People want to see not just one player, they want to see everybody else getting their shine. Okay. And a lot of people have put that, okay, well, LeBron, he's not playing, but the league is carrying on without him. They have shown that they can continue without LeBron, right? So that's another thing that they're looking at too. But we're gonna have to see what really truly takes place. I have no doubt in my mind that a lot of moves and shakeups are going to be made, and then also they're talking about Terry Stotts um, is a top candidate for the Lakers job, which I think would be a horrible decision in itself. Shout out to Ticket TV because he was the one that put people on game about that. I don't think that would be a good decision. But they have a lot of moves. The relationship, them coming out there, could it be a smoke screen? Maybe so, because they'll tell you one thing, and then when you truly go look at it with your own eyes and you unpack it yourself, it's shown to be another. It's shown to be another. And this isn't anything new. There, every and look, LeBron, great player. He's going to be when it's all said and done, going to be one of the greats to ever do it. But at the same token, it's a lot of drama that comes with him, with LeBron James and and the people around him. And that's what comes with it. That's why a lot of superstars elected not to go because of the frenzy aspect. But we're just talking about this relationship by itself. We're slicing this. And this right here, I think has been a roller coaster ride for both. You got Jeanie Buss, who really doesn't know what she's doing. Okay, I'm just being honest with you. She doesn't know what she's doing. Okay. Then on top of that, you got LeBron James, who wants everything his way. Okay, and want everything constructed around him. Everybody's at fault over there. Even when we talk about Rob Pelinka, even when we talk about the Rambuses, everybody's at fault. Everybody. And you got rid of a guy in Frank Vogel who was put in a bad position or whatever, and see one of the reasons why I felt like, and this is going off the rails a little bit. One of the reasons why I felt like they even brought back Doc Rivers to the Sixers was because as much as Doc Rivers had to do with what we were doing wrong, especially particularly at the beginning of the season, they also understood that we had personnel that wasn't 100%. When you talk about Joel Embiid, and we also had personnel that wasn't readily available. When you talk about a guy in Thibault, not that that's the sole excuse or anything like that, because James, it goes back to James Harden playing better. It goes back to other guys stepping up too as well. But I think that that's what they were looking at too. And on top of that, they were looking at, okay, they don't have any wiggle room either because of the 24 mil on his contract. But that's neither here nor there. So Frank Vogel, I felt was done wrong because Frank Vogel, it the whole the two major guys that were getting blamed the most were Frank Vogel and Russell Westbrook, flat out, flat out. And to me, you can't finger point in a situation like that. Now, do I feel like, and then on top of that, they came out and pretty much everybody knew that Frank Vogel was gone before he did, and he had to find out through this way and all this other stuff. That doesn't make that situation any better. And you can understand why Quinn Snyder didn't want the job. You could definitely understand that because he was like, man, I don't want that job. And not that he's gonna make the team any better, So these guys that are stepping in to this type of environment, you're gonna have to have very, very thick skin, and you're gonna have to understand what comes along with it. And I can almost guarantee you that a lot of these guys don't feel well about being with LeBron James because they feel like, okay, I'm gonna be on eggshells, sort of like what Ty Lue had to put up with too. And that's a whole nother story. We all know the story why Ty Lue didn't want the job. So that's my take on it. Y'all let me know what you think, man. Leave your comments and like the video. Share it too. And also hit them notifications so that you're notified. Polo Sports Talking Entertainment, and I'll get at you later.